And speaking of teams adapting, we'll take that and move on to our next topic, which is UCLA's upcoming game against Utah. And the Utes, they are having some troubles with COVID-19, had some positive tests. It's been a few days. They say they're on track to play, but a lot going on with the local government, the university, the program. The game's still on for now. Utah has kind of blown out UCLA the last 3 years. See if it happens again this year, but they may have to play with some guys in the scout team, according to Coach Kyle Whittingham. Either way, they're missing a lot of starters from last year. Major turnover on both sides of the ball. So, Jack, kind of give me your thoughts on how you think this game could play out and the major factors going into it.
Okay, first off, let's get this out of the way. The Pac-12 has not handled COVID very well week one. I mean, you had 2 canceled games, but not even that, just the hypocrisy kind of from program to program. I guess maybe not hypocrisy, but it doesn't seem like the rules. Yeah, inconsistencies. It's different everywhere. I mean, UCLA last Friday, it revealed that they had a positive test within the football program. And the week before, there had been a positive test, but they had retested and it came back as a false positive. But this week, it was a confirmed positive. But nothing happened there. UCLA is still allowed to travel to Boulder, still allowed to play. I mean, the player didn't go. They're still in quarantine, according to Chip Kelly, but it was just totally fine for UCLA. Meanwhile, Cal, not allowed to play. Meanwhile, Utah, who, I mean, no one really knows their reports. Their reports aren't very public. No one really knows what's going to happen there. So if that continues to happen to Utah, if their contact tracing, if their guys that keep testing positive aren't allowed to come, this is a must-win game for UCLA. If you're playing against scout team players, I don't care what school it is. If you're playing against the scout team guys that haven't been getting first-team reps, especially in an abbreviated season, especially in an abbreviated training camp when they didn't really have a spring camp, you have to win this game. I don't care if it's Utah. I don't care if it's USC. I don't care if it's Colorado. I don't care if it's Alabama. If you don't win this game, this is a nightmare season. You're 0-2 right off the bat. So UCLA needs to come out with the fire that they had in the second half. And I believe they will. I believe they really learned that, hey, Dorian Thompson-Robinson is a great athlete, but sometimes he makes the wrong reads. So let's not put him in situations where he has to make these tough reads. Simplify the playbook. You didn't have a training camp. Go down a few plays. Don't try to throw in extra tricks, throw in extra fancy things. Run this game. Control possession and run this game. Sam, what are you thinking will happen this Saturday?
I think for now, Utah's favored, and they will be going to the game for a lot of reasons. I mean, since I've been a student at UCLA, Utah has absolutely dismantled the Bruins every single season. They're basically averaging 45 points a game to UCLA's, 10? Their last 3 matchups. You had an absolute disaster in Salt Lake last year. Year before, Friday night game here at the Rose Bowl, and the year before when Josh Rosen mysteriously maybe had a concussion, missed that game, and it totally blew up in their face. So Utah is UCLA's kryptonite. Had a lot of kryptonites. It's not like they're a powerhouse, but that one especially has been a thorn in their side. So even with these scout team players, even with whoever it is, whether it's Huntley or Moss or Blackman gone, is a lot of faith in UCLA when Kyle Whittingham's on the other sideline. When it comes to how they adjust their play calling after this debacle against Colorado, I wouldn't say to tone down the tricks and all that, because that's what works well. This team is fast. Dorian is fast. Demetric Felton is fast. Kaz Allen's fast. You have speed. And Felton and Phillips, he's pretty fast too. He's a slot guy. Coda's got some speed. You need to move these guys around, run a spread, a lot of motion, a lot of options. That's the way you have to go. So I think where the playbook gets too complicated is when Chip Kelly tries running it like a pro style and has maybe too many route trees for these receivers, these option routes downfield, which I mean, Greg Dulcich, you said, had a great game, and he totally did, leading the Pac-12 in receiving. He should have had 200 yards, and he had, 125? There were so many times where he broke left and DTR through right, through to the wrong shoulder, wide open, over the middle. Just there was some kind of miscommunication, whether it was the route as a whole or whether there was an option and the quarterback and receiver read the secondary differently. I think that's where you have to adjust this offense and just say, okay, you guys are 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. You're athletic. You're going to be long run, but you can't trust these guys to make pro style reads on every single play at every single level on the offense. So Utah's a good team. And to beat them, UCLA is going to have to play pretty much a perfect game. They can't turn the ball over 4 times. They can't miss open receivers. Have to keep Dorian's jersey clean. It'll take a lot. It's possible. I mean, Utah's what, a 3.5 point favorite. UCLA has shown that they have a high-powered offense. Defense has got to get better, take care of the ball, and it's in the car.